Hello everyone and welcome back to my playthrough of I Love You, Colonel Sanders. It's now episode 8 of our playthrough and our bestie is in our room because we did not come back in our home to sleep last night. We slept at Colonel Sanders' house. And today is the final exam, so we'll see what will happen. Miriam is saying to me, "Where have you been?" Am I living with her actually? Because I had one heck of a night. I've been desperate to talk to you about it, but I couldn't find you. I got worried that something had happened to you. It's okay, I was just... But now that it turns out you're fine, I can finally get you up to speed on the saga of Miriam. Sure, but you will not believe what happened to me after school yesterday. I went on a date. I think I can believe that. Since I'd been partnered up with Clank, he asked me to go out with him. Of course, I told him you'd better keep your dials turned to polite and respectful. I'm not that kind of girl. But he was just interested in spending some one-on-one time together and getting to know me. So I said, yeah, sure, I can get to know the little metallic guy. Long story short, he took me skydiving with his friend. Can you believe that? I skydived with a robot, but things quickly spiraled out of control. Did she just say skydiving? As if that's a typical first date to go on with a talking pressure cooker? Yeah, why not? And now I'm not really sure where we stand. You don't give Miriam time to tell her whole story, however. Bottling up the details of your own night is just too much to bear. And I went on a date too. Back to Colonel Sanders' house where I spent the night with him. You what? Nothing happened but the emotional connection. Wowzer. Miriam tells you to move on from this whole Colonel Sanders obsession and focus on school. I don't have any choices. What? If being obsessed with Colonel Sanders is wrong, you don't want to be right? After a short argument, you both agree to go your separate ways. I just lost my bestie for a guy. When you arrive at school, you encounter your rivals in the quad. Van and Ashley. You can tell from a distance that they're picking on Pop, though he himself might not quite grasp that fact. Because you know he's Pop. What's a swirly? It sounds delicious.
Oh, it's great. I'll order you up one right away.
I'll have my swirly with sprinkles, please. Hehe, Sprinkles is a dog in a tree.
You can get what your swirly dip too.
Why don't you pick on someone your own size?
Because I'm literally the biggest person at this school.
There is that horse that Colonel Sanders rides to school, but who would dare pick on such a gentle and beautiful creature? I just noticed the drumsticks on her tiny socks. Looks sexy.
You've got some nerve, waifu, suggesting I pick on a defenseless horse.
Now you're twisting my words and I won't have it. You clench your fist, but the injury from yesterday's mixer accident makes you wince with pain. My hand is still broken after all.
Doesn't look like you can go on cooking like that. Might as well just give up.
I'll never give up, ever! Colonel Sanders arrived just as it appears things are close to boiling over. A naturally intuitive person, he senses that something has been going on. Is everyone excited for the final day of school? Waifu, how's that end feeling? I'm sure you'll be back in fighting form by this afternoon. Aren't you concerned about my ends, Colonel Sanders? Yesterday I almost broke a nail winning so hard. Technically, I don't believe a winner was decided, but your presentation was quite impressive. Is he hitting on her? What is doing complimenting her? She just winked. But what about the flavor of my delicate, warm, gooey chocolate sauce? It was clear that you're passionate about how your food is received. That's a lot of words to say. It was bland. Excuse me, waifu, I am more than capable enough to speak for myself. Oh man, I hate him right now. Maybe you could tell me more of your thoughts as we walk into class, Colonel. I'm always interested in discussing the fine art of fine foods. See you inside, waifu. Annoyed by Colonel Sanders' inability to see Ashley for who you know she really is, you walk across the quad to get some distance. Oh man, I hate him right now. In an attempt to distract yourself from how slighted you feel by the interaction with Ashley, you take out the spell book you recovered yesterday and start flipping through the pages. Whoa, that's that book. It looks like bad news. It's just something I found lying around. It would appear to be some sort of grimoire, but I don't really believe in that magic stuff. A grimoire? Like a book of spells? I don't know. Who would spend so much time decorating a magic book if it were not really powerful? Now my bestie wants to invocate demons with me. That's nice. I can think of one surefire way to find out. You open to a page covered with arcane warnings. Cast only in case of extreme emergency. Today is an extreme emergency, honestly. It says around the edges of the page. I could use the spell here that says it will erase anyone I choose from all of my memories. If I scrub out Colonel Sanders, it will probably help me focus better on the upcoming final exam. That is way drastic. Couldn't you do something else, like anything else, not rooted in dark magic? Maybe tie a string around your finger? Okay, fine, it is drastic, but desperate times call for desperate measures. You've got a memory erasing spell sitting right in front of you, and a pretty good excuse to try it out. Maybe right now is not the right time because he will make my recipe. I have the feeling that Colonel Sanders will make my recipe for the cooking competition, and I will not remember giving the recipe to him, and I will be confused. I will not do it after all. You take your friend's advice and put the book away. It's almost time for class. Sprinkles is already in the room waiting for the students to arrive. He clears his voice to make a quick announcement. I want you all to know I feel something of a dog moment coming on, but I assure you it's nothing to be afraid of. His cute little nose crunches up and he begins to breathe quickly. He must be hungry. Reach for some old homework to give him as a snack. Dogs can be rather unpredictable, especially Sprinkles. Wait to see what happens. I'm not sure he will eat homework. Sprinkles stops in his tracks. He focuses in on the window. The room is deadly silent. When you follow his gaze, you see a tiny orange squirrel perched on the cherry tree outside. Sprinkles turns feral and runs to the window of the classroom. He begins barking uncontrollably at the squirrel outside. Terrence, I told you never to come back here. Terrence, I will destroy you, Terrence! Sprinkle is barking ferociously, drool flying off of his face. The squirrel looks over, but he doesn't say anything back. You wonder, is that even a talking squirrel? Who named him Terrence? Terrence? You'd better not show your chubby cheeks around here ever again. After Sprinkles is satisfied with his presence has been felt by not only Terrence, but any other squirrel in hearing distance, he returns to his professional tone. I apologize for the outburst. This actually brings up an important point. Thank you, waifu, for reminding me to dole out this indispensable bit of wisdom. You see, but before you can go any further, Miriam's love drama spills over into the class. Sprinkle is interrupted by whirs and sparks coming from the back of the room. I told you to save it for after class. Do you think I wanted to be thrown from a plane strapped to a stranger? Miriam and Clank appear to be arguing, but you still haven't learned to speak Clank's language of mechanical noises. But no, you had to show off to your cool kid friends, Jeff and John, G and G. Forever. Watch us form a triangle in midair as we descend. Triangles are the strongest shape, don't you know? Bzz, bzz. Yeah, well, that doesn't make it a great date. Beep. Then take Jeff and Joan with you. You can all hold hands as you pedal down a mountain or off a cliff, or for all I care. Sad beep. Clank begins to shudder. Steam pours out of the gaps in his panels, and then a loud ding stops him in his tracks. Beep. Bzz. No amount of seasoning is going to make me want to eat that, Clank. Clank burps out a completely deep-fried snicker. Considering that he himself had wheels, not feet, it's not entirely clear where it came from. in terms of deep friend footwear, I think it looks okay. Deep friend footwear. Did they mean deep fried? What? Clank slowly rolls out of the room to be alone with his shoe. Everyone tries to pretend like they didn't see that entire thing go down. Nothing like a loud public break-up to cast a pall over the final day of school. Well, that was unfortunate. But we mustn't be distracted from what lies ahead. The final competition showdown challenge exam. Trademark. I'm still working on the title, but I think you get it. Test time approaches, see you all in the arena. But before you can think about your upcoming competition, there's a very beautiful soul nearby in need of a pep talk. Hey Miriam, are you okay? Okay, I'm so bad I could smash a tiny mug, spilling several droplets of hot chocolate all over the floor. How could he embarrass me in class like that in front of everyone? Our tiny Coco is a delicious treasure, so you know that this breakup is no joke, even if the source of her frustration is such a silly boy. I know that you know this, but I'm gonna say it out loud. You don't need anyone. That's true, girl. Me and you, we're gonna cruise through this final test and hit the carpool lane to Success City. Miriam brightens up, imagining the wind rushing through her short bangs, but she hesitates to embrace the feeling all the way. You're not going to saddle up on Colonel Sanders' stallion and ride off into the sunset without me. Of course not. Well, maybe sorta, but I'm sure there's a pony out there with your name on it and a ranch big enough for both of us and whoever else we want to bring along. If it's not Papa Clank or anyone else you meet today, tomorrow, or this whole year, so what? This whole year, you mean this 2 days formation? Maybe. You're a special person, girl. You shouldn't settle for the first someone to show a little interest anyhow. Miriam gives you a big hug and wipes the tears from her cheeks. I should really review my menu for today. I'm going to make a very special soup. And I bet that Professor Doug is gonna love it up. While you were pep talking, Miriam, you completely missed lunch, but that's okay because you had a better idea of how to spend the time before your exam. That's true. Maybe our friend will get a good grade for her exam and we will both forget about the boys. Maybe, I don't know what will happen. We'll just get our revenge on the city boys here in this stupid school. Maybe we'll get our degree and they will all fail. I don't know. Thank you so much for watching. And maybe next time it will be the last episode. So we will see. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you next time. Bye!